Your sensitivity is by far the most important thing in all of Apex Legends Mobile. If your settings are bad, then you're going to be terrible at the game. But that is where I come in. I'll be showing you exactly how you can make your best sensitivity, the perfect settings for you. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Aim assist. I need to cover this because this is something that massively influences your aim. Aim assist is something that helps you target enemies. You don't have to aim or shoot perfectly when aim assist is on. You can shoot a little bit to the side of your enemy, and the aim assist will kick in and help pull your crosshair to your target. When setting up your sensitivity, I recommend turning aim assist off, as it will get in the way of things. The very first thing you need to understand is this little guy right here, sensitivity acceleration mode. There's two options, fixed speed and speed acceleration. Speed acceleration means how much you turn is based on how fast or slow you swipe your finger. So if I swipe my screen from point A to point B really fast, as you guys can see, I'm gonna turn like 270 degrees. And if I swipe my finger really slow, I'm only gonna turn like 90 degrees. Fixed speed means there's no acceleration at all. So it doesn't matter if you swipe your finger faster than the speed of light or slower than a turtle, you will always turn the exact same amount. There's pros and cons of both of these options. If you're using fixed speed, obviously you're going to be way more consistent, but there's no risk, meaning you're probably never going to be able to get crazy kills and like sniper trick shots and all that kind of stuff. But if you're using speed acceleration, you might do really good one game and not so good the other. And it's probably going to take more time to get used to versus fixed speed. So if you like a high risk, high reward factor, choose speed acceleration. If you just like to be consistent all the time, you're going to want to choose fixed speed. Personally, I play with speed acceleration because I like to have more of a control over my sensitivity and swipe my finger faster or slower in certain situations. Now let's reset all of my sensitivity settings, start from scratch, and show you guys me adjusting it based on my liking, so you can understand exactly what to do and apply everything into your own settings. Free camera focus. At first, I had no idea what this even was, and I'm sure you guys don't know either. Basically, if this option is on, you can look around without actually having to turn your character model. I personally wouldn't recommend using this, but you can try it if you think this would help. Gyroscope is a completely separate form of playing that we're not going to dive deep into in this video, but basically you move your device and the game moves with it. Gyro is really good for phone players as they're holding their phone and they can rotate it to help them aim better. I will have a complete gyroscope guide coming really soon. Now let's start making our perfect sensitivity. There's a setting that says overall sensitivity presets. There are three options here: low, medium, and high. These are general sensitivity presets that the game has for you. What you're going to want to do is start on medium, as this is a general starting point. Head into the firing range, as this is the best place to test things out. There's a button in the firing range that lets you quickly access and change your sensitivity settings, so you don't have to keep going back into the menu every few seconds. This is a really great feature in Apex Mobile. An extremely important tip for you guys is build a habit of always moving, especially when you're aiming at an enemy. You never want to be just standing still. You want to always be moving. Now that you know that, we're going to use that exact same technique to set our sensitivities right now. The first thing you want to do is get a feel of your general movement. So before you tweak anything, look up and down, left and right, all that good stuff, and just get a feel of the general initial sensitivity. If you want to make any adjustments, you want to use these two options right here: overall sensitivity scale and vertical sensitivity scale. Overall sensitivity scale means swiping left to right, and vertical sensitivity scale means swiping up and down. Just simply turn the slider up or down until you get to a comfortable spot. Don't worry about getting it perfect now, because it will change, I can guarantee you that. Just get it to a point where you're like, oh, all right, that's good. And now turning corners. This is very important. We're gonna use this little area right here to test out corners. Perfect place to practice our turns. Head down and make a sharp turn of 90 degrees. As you can see, the turn was a little bit too much. What I need to do is adjust this little setting right here, FPP without ADS. Up next, 180 degree turns. This is basically having the ability to turn completely behind you with one swipe. Very useful in a lot of situations. So let's set it up. All right, so to start, just run around as normal and do a quick swipe to try and do a 180 turn. As you can see, mine is a bit too slow. So what I'm gonna do is adjust this option once again, FPP without ADS. But keep in mind, this is also going to affect your 90 degree turns as well. So try to keep a good balance sensitivity for both of these turns. Now we have tracing. In basic terms, tracing means trying to keep your crosshair on your target for as long as possible while you're moving or while the target is moving. We're going to come up with a super easy method to master tracing in Apex Legends Mobile. First thing we're going to do is trace a non-moving dummy. All you got to do is move left and right, forward and backwards, and at the same time, try to keep this dummy in your crosshair at all times. Go super close to the dummies, go at medium range, and even very far away. This will help you practice your long, mid, and close range tracking. Now go to the target practice table and choose medium. Try to trace the dummies as they move. Don't worry if it's not perfect, you will get better as you continue practicing, I guarantee it. Go back to the target practice table and choose hard, and pick up a weapon. I recommend the R301 assault rifle, as it's the most versatile weapon in the entire game, and start tracing these moving dummies. But this time, scope in. You're gonna notice straight away that your sensitivity is probably all over the place, and that's okay. What you need to do is adjust this little setting right here. Iron Sight's 1x optic ADS. If you didn't know, Iron Sight means just scoping into your weapon without a scope on it. Now shoot the dummies as they move, and if you want to make any adjustments from here, you want to mess with this option. Iron Sight's 1x optic ADS shooting. They actually have different sensitivity settings for every single scope in the game. Just apply this same principle for every scope in the game, and you're good to go for ADSing. But you still need to set up your hip fire sensitivity. If you don't know, hip fire means shooting without scoping in. Get to about a mid to close range distance and start hip firing. Hip fire while standing still as well as moving. And if you feel like you want to adjust the sensitivity, if it's either too low or too high, just change this little option right here. Shooting without ADS. This one is for first person and this one is for third person, whichever you're playing in. Once you've made some adjustments, go at it again. But this time, head over to the target practice table and summon the moving dummies again. Once the dummies are out, go really close to them and start hip firing. Focus on one dummy at a time and try your best to kill that dummy with one magazine. Then switch it up, shoot a little bit at one dummy, then transfer to another. Just have fun with this. Moving on to ordnance sensitivity. This sensitivity applies to when you're holding an explosive, like an arc star, grenade, or thermite. All you have to do is practice this with the dummies again. The same tips I gave you for everything else. Standing, moving, tracing, just adjust accordingly. Legend throwing ability sensitivity. This adjusts your turning sensitivity when you're pressing and holding your tactical or ultimate ability to aim. Do the exact same tips and tricks I've taught you for this as well, until you're comfortable. These are my sensitivity settings if you want to copy them. I spent a lot of time making mine the absolute best they can be for me, so give it a try. Now that you understand sensitivity and how to find the best sensitivity for you, that's not all for settings though. There's a ton of different options that you have to set up. And that is why I've made a video just for you, going over the best settings in Apex Legends Mobile, everything you need to know. It's on your screen right now. Click it and I'll see you over there.